It's been a minute since I did this voiceover thing, man. But yeah, right here we have Chris Jones. He's a hypnotist. I don't know too many people interviewing hypnotists now. Now the thing about him, I'm a big skeptic on hypnotism. But with him specifically, he caught my eye. You know why? Because he shook Howie Mandel's hand. And in this interview, we talked about how germophobic Howie Mandel is. You don't understand. He's the host of Deal or No Deal, and he has to introduce hundreds of thousands of contestants, and yet still, I've never seen him touch a person's hand. He wrote a book on how you don't touch someone else's hand. He bought a separate house to be germ free away from his family. He takes his germs very, very serious. And not only did he get him to touch his hand, he got him to touch the other three judges' hands as well. Yo, please go check him out. This interview was fire. He also brought on his friend who was a mind reader, blew my... Yo, I'm still flabbergasted what he did to me on this interview. I'm not even gonna lie.
And I will say the word sleep.
His friend's a mind reader, a
Sleep.
magician,
Relax all the way down.
a hypnotist.
Let go.
I don't know. He probably does taxes on the
Howie,
side.
hear my
Bro,
voice?
it's insane. These two gentlemen are immensely.
Howie, hear my voice? This is the only
Please go
suggestion I
check
will
them
give you.
out. And since
Gloves
you're
are
here,
okay with you. You're
go
not
to the
afraid of
description,
germs and
man.
gloves. I'm
And
wearing gloves now. I'm
come
a
on,
huge fan of
right?
you.
Show love.
You accept handshakes with gloves. I'm now wearing gloves. You'll imagine, picture and feel in your mind.
This is good.
Take a picture.
What you should have gotten to.
Listen to my voice. Imagine that I'm wearing gloves and you will shake my hand, Howie. Deep breath in. 1, 2, 3. Wide awake. Huge fan, always. I'm wearing gloves now. I want to extend to you, thank you so much. I have nice gloves on. That'll be great, please. I appreciate it. Let your legs become stuck, your back become stuck. Go to sleep.
Oh my gosh!
Ah, you rock.
Howie.
Howie, hear my voice. You'll be alert, aware, and fully refreshed. 1, 2, and 3. Wide awake. Give them a big round of applause. Howie, wide awake. Thank you so much, Howie. Thank you so much for all of your time. Appreciate that. Good game, sport. That's it. Take your time, though, please.
I can't believe it.
Do you know what you just did?
No. What'd I do?
Can I tell him what he did?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to tell Howie, what I saw up there was, for the first time in a long time, you were able to shake his hand, and he is
With a
not
glove.
wearing a glove.
No, he
He's
didn't.
not.
He was. You were wearing a glove?
But he wasn't.
No.
Are you being serious?
He hypnotized
I'm
you to
really
think.
sorry to trick your mind.
So you shook hands twice,
Are you
effortlessly. Like he put his hand out and you shook it
Well, he
twice.
shook his hand. Can you not do something so he will not have this problem anymore going forward? With your snipping?
You shook hands.
That would be so awesome.
Gladly.
Just get rid of his germophobia altogether.
Yeah, why don't you have him get rid of it forever?
What are you doing?
This is a note and paper. Is it okay? I give you paper.
I can
Do
handle
me a
it.
favor. Sit all the way back in the chair.
Okay.
Hold that, and then we're gonna ask you to. That's to you. Read that out loud to yourself.
Go to sleep.
Shut up.
I want to shake his hand. Can you do something?
In a moment, everyone has on the smallest, thinnest latex gloves. You won't notice it, but everyone is wearing gloves. Wide awake, my friend.
Hi, nice to see you today.
I see you. That's crazy.
No. Nothing is off the table.
Welcome back to another episode of Important Miscellaneous Talks. Yes, it's a pair of Supreme goggles on my head, and today we have two very special guests. And you know, I think I deserve my flowers because I interview people from all walks of life, and I don't know how many people have gone out there and interviewed hypnotists. So please, the world-renowned hypnotist, please introduce yourself.
I'm Chris Jones. I'm a hypnotist. If you type in America's Got Talent and the word hypnotist, it's me. I shook hands with Howie Mandel. He's afraid of germs. That was in 2015. I did not win America's Got Talent, so I'm the first hypnotist to lose America's Got Talent. But I got some clout, and with that clout comes the ability to talk to other people. This is my friend Noah Sonie, based out of Minneapolis, a magician, a mind reader, a comedian, and he also knows hypnosis. So he performs hypnosis as well. And we happen to be performing in Devil's Lake, North Dakota tonight. Just two black guys performing in the middle of nowhere, North Dakota.
Middle of a snowstorm.
Middle of a snowstorm, trying to stay alive.
Yep.
You said Noah. What's his last name?
Sony.
Just like the electronic company, yeah.
Yeah, Chris Jones, very generic name, by the way. Yeah. Run of the mill.
Like, actually.
I blame my parents. Yeah.
So you said Noah can read minds.
Yes.
So how accurate is that? As in, so you can tell, like, if I think of a specific sentence, or do I have to be there with you in person?
It would work way better here in person, yeah.
Okay, can you read Chris mind?
Yeah. Yeah.
We could do some stuff. I don't know how well it translates for our listeners, but
yeah. I think with mind reading, it's a lot of kind of different things combined into one. So it's a lot of like little psychological things at play there. It's a lot of moments of trying to figure out like how people think or how people get to information or why we make the choices that we make. And so exploring those things and then kind of making it feel a little bit miraculous as well.
So it's more so that you're just well studied than than your Professor X, right? Like
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
you weren't born a magician, a hypnotist, body language expert. You learned this skill.
Yeah.
You developed it with other people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you. There's books on hypnotism, correct?
There's books on anything. Like, how does someone become a doctor? There's a book on it. How do you study Wall Street? There's a book on it. Now, information gets outdated, but yeah, definitely books.
Do you have any book recommendations, or you just never thought of it?
I wrote my thesis on hypnosis, and soon I'm dropping a book called Confessions of a College Hypnotist. Talks about 13 years on the road, all this shit I've seen, all the mistakes I made on and off stage. I'll give you a free copy. I'll even send you my thesis tonight.
Oh boy. God, man. So how in the world does one get into the world of hypnotism? Because I'm pretty sure when they asked you in second grade what you want to be, that wasn't on the list.
No, I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, dude, I want to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah, I was going to be Michelangelo. How did you learn hypnosis?
I think. So I saw a hypnotist when I was in college.
Yeah, same.
And then from there, it was a thing that I started kind of learning through my background in magic, sort of had things that dabbled in hypnosis. So I picked up on some of those really quickly, and then I started expanding it more and more and more. And then from there, I kind of had a few different sources. And I think a lot of it was also just conversations with you. Like a lot of it was just us talking and just, yeah.
Noah's gotten really, really good. I've only known him for 2 years. Definitely I met you during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like my daughter was in my arms and everything. And I met him through Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm a big fan of your work. And he's like, oh, dope.
I was like, I'm a big fan of your work.
And yeah, we just caught up over Zoom. And then I was like, yo, you're in Minneapolis. It's during the pandemic. Do you want to open for me? And I'm using that term loosely because I'm like, you're a very good performer. You know, the weaker act goes first, typically. I'm like, you're not the weaker act. I just want you to supplement something from my show. And now he's headlining. Like, I was like, here's $200. You deserve way more. But like, you know, I'm only getting $1,500 because it's virtual. And now here we are doing a double header show.
Yeah, it's cool. And I think it's always great getting to see you work too, because like I feel like it's hard to describe because there's a lot of hypnotists out there, but I think what you see is a lot of people that follow the same patterns of hypnosis. And what I love about the fact is that Chris does a show that's actually unique and really different and fun, and I think resonates with people a lot more than other hypnosis shows do sometimes.
I appreciate that. Have you seen a hypnosis show?
I have not. I am one of the skeptics.
Yeah.
But I will say that you shook Howie Mandel's hand. Now,
I did.
Those of you who don't know, Howie Mandel is an extreme germaphobe. He used to host Deal or No Deal, and he has to, when cordially you introduce, a contestant, typically the host shakes their. He did not touch one single contestant's hand, not one. He always does this. Always does this.
He's doing a fist pump. That's his thing. Yeah.
Every single time. So I'm watching the video. I found Chris through a viral TikTok, and
Yeah.
I'm
viral again, which is funny because I don't have TikTok.
You just never know. And I didn't even know that was 2015. I had no idea that was 2015. I'm thinking that was like whenever, like 3 years ago, whatever. But so I see him, and my jaw is dropping as he's touching Howie Mandel's head. Yeah, if you guys knew how freaking outrageous that is, and then on top of that, he got the other judges touch Howie Mandel's head as well.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So, I'm pretty sure there are frauds out there, but you in particular, that sold me. I sent the video to my friend. He asked as well. He was like, "Yo, is this legit?" I'm like, "Listen, Google Howie Mandel's hygienic."
Yeah. If you first off, Howie Mandel has a book called "Here's the Deal, Don't Touch Me." Like, he's so afraid of germs. He wrote the book, "Don't Touch Me." He bought a second house to escape the germs in his first house. So he's like, "Family, you live there. I'll live in this separate house so it's germ free, and it's the way I like it." All the comments on the YouTube thing is like fake, 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 fake. And I troll every now and then. I'm like, explain why. Literally, not hostile. Explain how it's fake. Well, you had a fake glove. I'm like, no. The other judges shook his hand too. That theory doesn't work. What else do you have? Well, you paid him. Let me stress, I made $100 being on America's Got Talent.
Look at these numbers. Please subscribe and help me out. Love you.
I got a free flight back and forth and $150 per diem and a free hotel. That's all I got. So no, I didn't pay him anything. And he didn't know I was going to do it either.
There's a news clip you can find too of Howie Mandel after the episode aired, talking to a news anchor like, "Yeah, it was terrifying.
Yep.
Didn't know what was going to happen.
Sent me to therapy.
In the past. Yep. Had to go to therapy afterwards."
Wow. That's crazy. And also, Howie Mandel's doing very well for himself. I'm pretty sure even if you were to offer him money.
I'm 37. I watched Bobby's World. He had a syndicated TV show when I'm in diapers. Like, I don't have that money at all. At all.
So to the average civilian, one may wonder, do you use hypnotism for evil? Right?
Great question.
You mentioned, I'm sure you're quite the ladies' man with your hypnotism, right? So do you ever cast a spell on with some game?
Noah is single, but he's also handsome. I've been married for 3 years now, and everyone's like, "Oh, like, did he hypnotize you?" to my wife, and she's like, "No." Just deadpan. No.
Wait, but when you guys get into arguments or back and forth, it's like it has to at least be tempting for you to be like, "All right, we argued about this for the last week. Let me just."
Yeah, like, I don't see the dishes. Do you see the dishes?
Now you're a Jedi.
This food is not burnt. No. I wish. My dick is actually 8 inches.
I do sexually satisfy you.
You are sexually satisfied. So what if I'm in a different state? Yeah. No. I definitely, for all those skeptical people, and I encourage people at every show to be skeptical, but I say everyone, all of us, myself included, we should be okay to change our opinions with more information.
Yes.
That's it. If I give you more information, you give me more information, more knowledge I didn't have, I should be able to change my opinion. I was going somewhere with science. Oh, so if you search hypnotist, divorce attorney, Ohio, there's a guy who was a divorce attorney and was hypnotizing his female clients to be attracted to him. Divorce is a very difficult thing. You're emotional. So he was like, we're doing some breathing exercises. And this lady's in his office. She leaves and she goes to the police and she's like, he said I was doing a breathing exercise, but my blouse is undone. So they go, let's put a camera on you. So you can see this footage. Again, divorce attorney, Ohio, hypnosis. You can see the video. She comes back. He's like, you're still stressed, breathing exercise. She gets hypnotized. And he goes, you're going to think about me. Every time you think about me, you get more and more aroused, more and more aroused. Boom, door breaks open. Please, hands there, don't move. He's like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like became a bitch real fast, as he should. Got 4 years in prison or jail for kidnapping, for literally holding someone against their will. He should have gotten more time, but
Yeah, and also he seems pretty bad at why would you let her leave your office with her blouse undone?
you're missing the point. But yes,
No. I'm not condoning his actions, but he's not good at what he does. Is what I'm saying. He deserves more time. Absolutely.
Yeah. You're like,
he's a free boy.
you left a trail of breadcrumbs, man.
Nah,
Before
yeah,
you leave, make sure the blouse is perfect.
Yeah.
I
didn't
edit that out. So how does one improve on their hypnotism skills?
I think there's a lot of bad hypnotists doing stage shows because they've seen one and then they do the same routine. Here's a hypnosis show. It's hot, it's cold, there's a good smell, there's a bad smell. You're watching a funny movie, you're watching a scary movie, you're watching a romantic movie. You forget the number 4, your belly button falls off, there's a dance competition. That's a 90-minute show. And I know that because my 3rd show ever, this little girl comes to me. She's like, you're the hypnotist? She's like, you're going to go hot, cold, roller coaster, scary movie. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I know, I've seen one before, but I'm sure it'll be good. And she left. She was like 12. And I was like, well, if that 12-year-old has seen one hypnotist, there's no way I can do any routines like that. So now I try not to do any of those ever.
What piqued your interest in hypnotism in the first place?
Like Noah, I was in the audience and I saw a hypnotist when I was in college. We were both resident assistants in college. I'm 37 now and he's 30.
27.
Fudge.
Oh, me too, man.
Oh, look at you young people.
What's your birthday?
April 11th.
Okay.
Okay. Taurus?
Happy belated.
No, Aries.
Aries.
Yeah, we missed you. It's 4:20 here and life is good. Yeah, I saw a hypnotist and I was like, you're going to teach me how to do this. Tell me what books to read. And the other fucking thing about hypnosis is if you've read the book, The Alchemist goes around telling people who ask, I'm an alchemist. I turn metal into a precious, tangible thing. I turn it into gold. And they're like, he's crazy. If I tell you the truth, I'm going to say the right words in the right order. And as your coach, I will help you become a better athlete. I'm going to say the right words in the right order. And when we're done, you're going to remember more things. And I'm going to be a better professor for you. I can say, you saw a crime. I'm going to say the right words in the right order. And when you come back, you'll remember the license plate from that crime scene. We can do all these things with hypnosis. But I sound like I'm talking out my ass. And people are, oh, he's crazy.
Hypnosis honestly does sound like an ultimate cheat code, but it sounds too good to be true. So I know some people who want to pursue hypnosis to find ways to improve their lives. So how can do you self-hypnotize by any chance?
People can. I will talk about me hypnotizing. Do you ever hypnotize yourself?
No. I meditate though. So like, I don't know,
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's very similar sometimes.
Yeah. If you meditate and you're just listening to music, whatever, and you take yourself 10 minutes out of the room, you come back, that can be a form of hypnosis. The only difference when we do it, when you're in that state, I then give you a suggestion. So like, is there anything that you're trying to work on in your life?
How much time do you have?
Right.
One thing, to be more disciplined. And to stay focused.
Okay.
More often.
I would hypnotize you. I count down from 10 all the way to 1.
Hold on.
I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Because here's the thing.
I don't mind, but I just want to, at least a head nod, right?
Oh, yeah. Consent is good. I can't do it because people listening could get hypnotized while driving right now.
Oh, okay. Off air.
Yeah. We're all articulate, brown. I assume Are you American?
I am. My parents are Jamaican.
Yes. If I could hypnotize people without their will, without their consent, and just wave my hand, I'd have like a megaphone. I drive down every street and be like, vote for a black governor. Give us one black governor. I'd go to Jamaica and I'd be like, men, eat the poom poom.
I'm not sure that would even work. Honestly.
That would not work. Jamaican men do not eat the poom poom. That would be Jamaica's Got Talent. making men go down on women. See, you thought poom poom was ass, didn't you? No, you knew what poom poom was? Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
What?
I thought he thought.
What is that? Wow.
There's some parent with their kid in the room right now. Like, we got to turn the podcast.
Yeah, this is not the America's Got Talent we thought of. In the UK, a fanny pack, the fanny. In the UK, the fanny is your vagina, but yeah. So I just poom poom.
Okay, that's an interesting segment that we went into. Synonyms, international synonyms.
Yep,
that could be a segment of yours. When you're not hypnotizing, what do you do? Because I'm sure outside looking in, a lot of people just think, well, you just hypnotizing like the cashier, the guy at the gas station, and like.
Honest to God, I never ever do it unless I'm on stage. Like when I was learning, I was insufferable. It was like, hey, let me shake your hand. Let me try this thing. I tried it on everyone. And after 13 years of doing this, you literally have to pay me to do it. Otherwise I don't want to. Because it's like baseball. Baseball, if you strike out 60% of the time, you're fucking incredible. Yeah. Like good batting is like 25% in baseball.
Yeah.
Hypnosis is 10%.
Are you?
So I'm telling people.
Yeah, sorry.
There's 100 people in this room. 10% of you guaranteed are going to get hypnotized, which wouldn't be great for baseball, but it's pretty good for hypnosis.
Oh, so there's people that hypnosis won't work on, or maybe not as well.
If you come to me and you say, I want to get hypnotized, your odds go up exponentially. Like coming to be a better student, get over fear, phobia. Yeah. But in any given audience, like tonight, we performed for people and half the audience was from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And there's always different things, I think, when it comes to hypnosis that can like take people out of it or put more people more into it.
Yeah.
So certain times you're doing a show later at night, and that's going to affect how much more people will be susceptible to hypnosis. Sometimes there's something else going on in the room, like maybe there's music playing, and that can draw something out of it. Maybe somebody's just on some sort of substance, so that's going to draw them out of it too. And so it's kind of with where they are as well. So it's like maybe somebody that could be hypnotized one day can't be hypnotized on a different day because of the environment, because of something in their life. Maybe something happened and now they're focused on that thought, and that's the thing that they're more concentrated on than what you're saying. Then they're out of it.
Word choice is very important, because I can say the word sink into your chair. We have a visual picture of someone just getting heavy and falling. But if I say that word collapse in your chair, it means different things. So I can only do shows for people who speak English, by and large. When I went to Japan, my brother speaks Japanese, and he translated it into Japanese. So I would say it, and then he would say it in Japanese, and people went night-night. So it pays to be bilingual.
Yeah.
It's crazy how Howie Mandel had to go to therapy, man. That's freaking nuts.
That's a claim. The America's Got Talent sent Howie Mandel to therapy.
Yo, that's freaking nuts, man. That definitely has to go on your tombstone, man. Do you recommend
hypnotists never die? We're immortal.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. You're like, I got past your critical factor.
Hypnotize you from the grave, man. My goodness.
Yeah.
It's crazy because Chris is 130 years old. Dude, looks great.
I look good for 137.
Do you recommend people getting into this field? Or it's just you have to have the certain gift?
That's such a great question.
I'm a journalist.
There are so many female hypnotists that only do counseling. There are so many female therapists, or so many women that use hypnosis for therapy, and they're predominantly male stage hypnotists. So I would encourage more women to get on stage and swing a microphone.
May I say as well, I think I think that there's it's one thing to look at it as like something that like as a field that somebody can get into, but then I think it's also something that people can just learn more
Yeah.
about and be more open to.
Yeah.
As like as an idea or as something that they can either research or just sort of increase their knowledge of. Because I think that's where you get a lot of people that are like, yeah, but is it even real? But like when you look at the history of it, there's so much history of like hypnosis being used in our actual day-to-day lives. The government had done these huge, massive studies on trying to hypnotize mass groups of people. And so when you start to see and hear things like that, you go like, oh, this is just interesting. Like the fact that this is something that we as people are able to do and have done to us, but then we don't fully know that much about. We're still trying to figure out, we're still doing the research in, there are people that are able to go in and do this in rooms full of people, like how, yeah.
Also, if you learn a few basic tools of hypnosis, you can prevent people from influencing you.
Yes.
So think of it, if you learn this skill set, you will be more open-minded, but you'll also be able to have a BS barrier.
So can you get hypnotized?
I could get hypnotized, yeah. Like anyone I trust who's like a person I look up to can hypnotize me.
Heavy on the trust, because that's one thing that scares me about hypnotism, because you could just like I have to be able to let go for you to hypnotize me. You could just say, yeah, just jump off a bridge tomorrow. Like
You wouldn't, I think you might have a better answer than I do, but there's also a thing where your conscious mind would stop you before you did something that actually harmed you or harmed somebody else, as long as you wouldn't do it regularly. So so like that's why there's not a lot of cases of people being like, I went and murdered this person and I was hypnotized and that's why I did it, because like your brain, your conscious mind would feel so much anxiety about that and so much
you would snap out of it.
That, you wouldn't be able to stay in the zone to even get to that point.
Having said that, if you are already in the military,
right,
look out, because I can't perform, no hypnotist can perform for US troops if they're active duty, because they could say something while they're hypnotized and give away information we should not know as civilians. And they're taught to take an action and do that action. So if you have me in a room full of Marines who are taught to kill with one hand, and I go, that guy kicked a puppy, he might get choked out.
Yeah. And you'll get that at especially more like in the sense of like a corporate hypnosis show. You'll get people that come up to you and very quietly will bring you to the side and say, hey, by the way, I can't do any of this.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, oh, why? And it's always going to be that answer. I was in the government. I know this, and this.
Yeah.
Thus, because of that, I can't go under hypnosis, even after post-duty. Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot to take in.
They do training for it too. One person that had talked to me said that he had done like resistance training for any sort of like,
it's like Inception.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally going to teach you how to keep people from being inside your brain.
They used to hire hypnotists to teach it too, and I think they probably still do.
I'm going to ask the people listening, and you yourself look up the name of who's in your opinion the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time. You're probably going to say one of two people, but who do you think?
Heavyweight. What was Tyson? Was a heavyweight, right?
Tyson is heavyweight. Yep.
And
Tyson.
Ali was heavyweight.
Without a doubt.
The GOATs.
Mike Tyson had a hypnotist at the age of 13. Custody model took Mike Tyson, his woman, and he sat down. You focus on nothingness, complete nothingness, because he was scared to fight people. He was crying before matches. And when he got hypnotized, he's like, you see yourself as an animal. You're ferocious. You're punching the bodies, punches and bunches. And then he'd wake up and do this like week after week. And then he became the youngest heavyweight champion, period. Now, Mike Tyson lost to a guy named Buster Douglas, who also had a hypnotist. And Muhammad Ali had his jaw broken by a fighter who had a hypnotist as well. So the internet is a beautiful thing. Google hypnosis and Muhammad Ali, hypnosis and Mike Tyson. You'll say, holy shit, maybe it's not real, but the greatest in their field, the unstoppables, the GOATs, all have a hypnotist. So maybe it helps.
Yeah, maybe you don't take it to the extreme that Tyson did, but he was freaking nuts.
He wanted to kill everything moving.
You know, I heard he used to have sex before his fights just so he can actually. He had to bust a nut so he can actually. We saw the tame Mike Tyson in the ring.
Yeah.
Clarity Tyson.
He wanted mental clarity.
Yeah, Mike Tyson, he just had that mindset. It's crazy. And Joe Rogan, everyone listens to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan had Mike Tyson on, and Mike Tyson's like, you know what Custody Model used to do? He used to take me to a hypnotist. And Joe's like, what did he make you do? I focus on nothingness. I'm a savage. I'm just gonna punch. I'm moving everything. He can't take my punches. And he's like, did he teach you the off switch? And he goes, no.
That's funny. So yeah, so that's interesting about the conscious mind that you mentioned, because some people may interpret that as, all right, he's just gonna go around punching his grandma and just civilians. Oh, but it's probably there is a level of control that you have. You're not gonna go around punching grandmas unless you're a guy who punches grandmas.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I use the association of hypnosis is a lot like alcohol. If you would do it a little buzzed or a little drunk, you would do it under hypnosis.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's just a different state of mental being. That's it. That's all it is.
Okay. That's a very good example.
Do you have a deck of cards? If you thought of like a random card, could you know it?
I do not have cards with me.
What?
Yeah.
This are you? I thought you guys have like 8 on deck.
I know, right?
I do have a deck. It's not his deck. We're in the Sleep Inn. Like I said, in North Dakota.
You know what would be interesting? The card tricks. Have you ever tried with an Uno deck?
Yeah. Funny enough, there are a couple of things with Uno decks. Yeah.
Yeah, because I everybody always does with the classic card set, but I think with the Uno cards, that would be more interesting. Or maybe 2 or 3 classic card sets. That would be interesting. I think there's less room for error that way. You can really show your skill with that.
This will not be good for the readers. Feel free to, or the watchers, viewers, feel free to take this out. But I do have one deck of cards. And if I asked you to name a card out loud, what would it be? Not the Joker. Name a card out loud.
10 of diamonds.
10 of diamonds. Okay. I have one card here. The most common card everyone is thinking about. What's the word? The Ace of Spades is the most common card. Okay.
Okay.
This has been in your sight the entire time.
That's not the 10 of diamonds.
No, of course not. I keep the 10 of diamonds right here in my pocket. And there's no pocket.
Nah, let's do that again. Crazy, because I tried to outsmart you because I didn't pick my first one.
What was your first one?
7 of hearts.
Oh, that's interesting. No, there's no 7 of hearts in this deck.
Okay.
No, like for real.
No, I'm
Hypnosis. I'm gonna pull the 7 of hearts out of here.
Nah, ain't no way.
So I'm gonna give that to Noah Sonie. 7 of hearts is done out of the equation. It's all you, man.
Okay.
Buckle up, because he's gonna fuck you up.
I don't know if this will actually work over the screen, so we're gonna find out. Can you see the table here?
I can't. No, you need to have more confidence in yourself, man. What's going on here, man? You can do this.
All right. I'm gonna shuffle these cards up a little bit. And then here's what we'll do. Before we do anything at all, I'm gonna take a look through and I'm gonna put some cards out that I think are gonna be important to you. I think this card. And this card. All right.
There's no way. There's just no way.
Every card in this deck has a mate. So we've got the 5 of clubs and the 6 of hearts. All right. We'll start with this. I'm going to deal cards. We'll start with the 6. Tell me when to stop dealing.
Now.
Right there, or do you want to go a couple of more? I want you to be confident in your choice.
When you ask questions like that, it makes me less confident.
This is important. We can go more. I can take a few back, but this is important.
Take 1 card away.
One, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. You sure about that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to put the 6 of hearts right there, and then we're going to do it again. I'm going to deal. Tell me when to stop again.
Now.
Oh. I was just in between deals. Do you want the last one on the table or in my hand?
Oh my goodness. I want put that one in the deck. Put that one in the deck.
Down here or here?
No, up there. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, right there. You're sure?
I'm 100% sure. Yes.
And you don't want to go back a few. You're happy right here.
Dog. I'm all right. Take 3 cards away.
One this way.
Yes.
2, 3.
Right there. Okay. Committed to your choice both times then, yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
So this is what's crazy though. At the start, I told you every single deck of cards, there's mates. So I took out 2 cards. Those cards were the 6 of hearts. You placed it right here. And the 5, you placed it right here. But what's so crazy about where you placed it is that the only place you could have put it would have been right there next to the other black 5 and right there next to the other red 6. Yo, I'm glad you took those cards back.
Bro, that's insane. I waited so long to say that I'm confident. You put out like 20 cards.
I like that too, because you think, oh, I'm gonna mess him up, but it's very hard to mess up a professional.
That's freaking insane, man.
Crazy, right? Hey, if you were like playing a game of cards, what are like the 4 best cards you could get, you think?
Depends on what we're playing, but I would say do I have to name the card and the suit or just the card?
Just the card. What card do you think would be the best one?
Ace is good in just about every game.
Aces? Tell me to stop.
No.
Who do you think you are, Noah?
Who do you think you are?
There's no way.
Yeah.
Are you
Here, tell you what, I'll shuffle. You just tell me to stop.
Stop.
Do it again.
Stop.
There?
No.
Do it again.
Stop.
Again.
Stop.
Right there?
Yes. Right there. I'm hoping. Noah, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. This virtual thing is nothing for you. What? That's
how we roll.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Gabby. This is with the edible kicking in, or
Yeah, right.
Wow, that's awfully impressive, man. I know you get all the ladies, Noah. Do you happen to have a pack of cards on you, little lady?
Yeah, right. They're like, you got any condoms? I'm like, well, I do have a deck of cards.
He said, under the card, there's a condom there.
Yeah.
Meet me at the sleep in.
There is actually a trick where you take a card and you can turn it into a condom. True story.
How were you able to turn hypnotism? Yeah, I still got a show to run, but like I'm still trying to gather my thoughts. How were you able to turn hypnotism into a full-time job? I'm assuming it's full-time for you guys.
I was done with grad school. I was working at a university in Southern Illinois, Carbondale. And I had footage of a couple shows, literally a couple shows. And I edited up. I sent it to an agent. Didn't hear anything. I call a third time. They're like, oh, we're actually going to call you today. And I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. Bullshit. It's been a month. And they go back. And they go, your promo looks good. We'll book you shows right now. If you're good, you're hired. And if you're not good, you're fired.
Simple.
Or swim.
They got me 9 shows. And I was like to my university, I got to quit. I can't think about these shows and be fair to this university job. I moved all my stuff from my dad's house. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to be a traveling hypnotist. He shit a brick. Because he's like, no, son, you can't be a self-employed traveling hypnotist. I was like, I am. It's going to work out. To his credit, he really didn't say you can't. He said, this makes me nervous. I'm a little nervous. Like, you went to college, you went to all the school. Why are you going to be like a traveling clown? But he's very supportive, and it's been a great choice. So I had an agent, then I fired my agent, and they hired Noah Sonie. No joke.
So Noah's your agent?
The agent who I worked for 10 years, I was like, we are crossing paths in a different way now. I'm leaving. And then they picked him up. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I thought you knew they signed me. I was like, no, don't care. Good for you. I want you get paid, but sooner or later, you're going to fire them too.
It's all about growth in the world.
It's growth. Yeah. You think Bruno Mars is the same manager he used to? No, he was 2.5 and he was doing shows with his parents.
Mm.
He fired
his mom.
He
So
fired his
fast.
parents. Yeah.
Can you guys explain what happens to the mind during hypnotism?
I can.
It's on you.
Your prefrontal cortex, the front of, like if you're going to headbutt someone,
The
that
decision
is
part of the brain.
that's your filters there as well. And when you're hypnotized, the filter is not working. So it'd be like if you went to the dentist and you got all drugged up, or if you're half awake and someone starts talking to you, you're not thinking critically. You're like, hey, have you seen my remote? No, I don't know where the remote is. Did you take $20? Yeah, but I'll pay you back. Like the filter's gone.
Mm.
Like if I put you into an fMRI, I could say, here's a photo of your brain. You got it. You see it. I put you back in there. I hypnotize you and I see how this part is lit up.
Mm-hmm.
That's because you're physically in a different mental state.
Mm. I was gonna ask you, you brought up your parents. How did your parents take this new career path? How did they take that information?
Do your parents like that you're a magician? Have you even told them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. My mom's super proud, actually. Yeah.
That's dope.
Like, cause like she was an art student. So when I was like, I'm gonna be a magician, she was like, yeah, you got this. Like, you'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
What about you?
What about your dad?
I think he just was confused at first that I was gonna be, because he was like, what do you mean like you're a magician? Like he's from Liberia, so he was like,
hey,
what? Like he was like, what do you mean you're gonna be a magician? Like, how is that gonna work? But eventually, yeah.
I know your dad was born in Liberia?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Born and raised in Liberia. Yeah.
World. Where would you guys
as old as Liberia? What?
where would you guys want to take your career?
That's a good question.
Um,
You're younger than me. So your career, he's exploding. I'm not saying this to be polite. I'm not saying this because you're my friend. You have 3 really great things you can do. You can do the mind reading, you can do the magic, you can do the hypnosis. If you stay single or don't have kids, you'll be on TV. Like real talk, you'll have a special you'll be like David Blaine, or you'll be like, I don't think this is sustainable for my lifestyle. I need a wife and I need a baby.
I was gonna say, you find a lot of balance in things. So for me, I think part of it is the fact that like I've done a few TV things now. They're fun. They're so stressful, and you stress what they're gonna look like. You stress what people are gonna think about them, and it has a lot of like hidden things that I think a lot of people don't think about, even when it's something like just being a magician on a show for a spot once or twice or something like that. And then I think that at times you realize that like we're in this whole crazy human experience, and like part of the thing you want is just a normal, fun, good life. And so I think there's a lot of value in that too. And so I think like part of my goals aligned to just be like, I don't know, like I just want to do things that are fun. Like I was watching this interview with David Blaine one time, and he's one of my favorite magicians. He's just the GOAT. Like he shifted the format. And he was like, I don't know, like we're at this point where like we just don't, like me and the team, we don't take anything if it doesn't sound fun. And I'm like that.
Yeah.
Like that's the goal, I think, in every sort of like when you're really passionate about something, being able to do things that only align with stuff that you think are like going to make you happy and like really align with what you want and bring joy to you while still doing work and while still doing things that are creatively fulfilling. I don't know, I think what that looks like, but I think for me, for sure, that's the goal. Whether it's even like in magic, or I want to open a photo studio one day. I've had ideas of opening a coffee shop one day.
He's a very good photographer as well. Yeah. I got AGT when I was 29. And at the time I had no kid, no wife, and I was making 6 figures, which was cool for a guy with an apartment with his friends and really no consequences when he spent his money. My mom got cancer during America's Got Talent. She passed away. She died. Yeah. So I was like watching myself on national TV on my birthday while my mom is like losing her hair because of chemo. Flash cut a year later, I have a mental breakdown. I'm locked up. In the waiting room is America's Got Talent. And I'm like, I was on this show. I'm a hypnotist. And they're like, all right, he's crazy. And my dad's like, he's not crazy. He's going through some things, but he was on America's Got Talent.
Like that
Yeah.
part.
And this is the anniversary of his birthday. So it's all a little weird, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, people who, Elon Musk, do I think he's happy? Probably 40 days out of the year. Yeah, he's probably really happy. He's not happy every day.
No one is.
No one is. People are like, oh, I want this. I'll have this car and I'll be happy. You'll be happy driving the car the first day. Second day is not as fun. Next week, you forgot the car even is in your driveway. You're like, yo, is that mine?
Yeah, definitely. I think about that stuff all the time, but it's human nature. Some of the things is really hard to fight because, like I know I'm only gonna like the Ferrari for one day, but damn it, I still want the Ferrari, right?
You want that milestone. Yeah, I think it's also though because we're young too. You know what I mean? Like I think every single year that I get a little bit old, and I'm saying this that's like we're 27, something like that. But
I am 10 years. I'm a decade older than you.
Yeah, which means a decade more wisdom.
Bullshit.
But you feel that. You feel like each year, I feel like you feel like some of those things that you wanted kind of being like, you know what? Younger me wanted that. I didn't need that as much.
I look back and when I was 8th grade, whatever, I was like, if I just have $100, I'll be rich.
Yeah.
I could eat pizza every day. And now it's like, well, I need a 401k and my kid needs a college fund and my wife needs to have access to these things if anything happens to me.
I think like for a long time, because like I grew up and like growing up, I didn't have a ton of money, but like I think for a long time, like
we were on food stamps, my guy.
Yeah.
You didn't. Your mother had you on food stamps.
Yeah. So like I think there were things like when I was young, I was like, oh, like if I make a certain amount of money, I'll be happy. I'll be so happy. I'll be so happy. And then like as I made more money in things, like I'd be like, dang, you're actually not that happy. Like shit. They were right when they said money doesn't buy happiness. And like not that I'm like balling out or anything like that, but it's like it's that thing where like you think when you're young, you're like, oh, it's supposed to be what makes me happy. That's gonna be what makes me happy. But I think it just shifts so much internally.
Yeah, I agree. I think as you get older, your mindset changes. Well, for Chris, for one, you have a wife and kid, so I definitely think your mindset shifts quite a bit after that. And also how you talked about how when you get something, it's kind of a temporary feeling, but as you get older, you accumulate more things. So yeah, you're not gonna want what you want at 37, the same things at 27, because you've accumulated so many more things over the time that you don't care for the same fancy things you did once before, because you probably had at least a taste of it or know someone who has a taste of it.
Yeah.
And the world is only so big when you're young, and then you're I'm gonna be student of the month, and then you realize, oh, there's a whole school. I'm gonna be valedictorian, and then you're like, oh shit, I gotta compete with everyone that's university now. And now there's 8 billion people on the planet. So that means over 7 billion people don't give a fuck what I do on any given day. Like, there's so many people who will never hear of me, and that's okay. That's a very good ego check.
Yeah. Even Kobe Bryant talked about it one time. It's like, man, you're not that important. Kobe said this. He said, man, you're not that important, man. There's billions of people on Earth, man. You'll get over this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 2 final questions for you guys, and I think they're both very intriguing. If you could only hypnotize 5 people throughout the history of the world, who would they be?
That is a question I've never gotten.
History of the world. Dang.
Fuck. Gandhi, and make him shoot people.
Interesting. Yeah, that sounds.
And then only when you shoot him, he has to be like, guns save lives. That's the only way.
What? So specific.
Gandhi, Gandhi was like the most peaceful soul and was assassinated. And then his family is like, do not kill his assassin. Our father would not want that. And they said, okay, we're going to assassinate him. We're going to hang him. We're going to shoot him. But after him, there'll be no more capital punishment in India. So
balance.
When we first met and hung out, you were like, I would hypnotize people not to hurt children. Like, yes, you had wine in your body, you had alcohol and maybe smoke, and you're just sitting here and you're like, pedophiles. We can't have that. And I was like, yeah.
Honestly,
that's pretty not cool, actually.
I think that would be a good way to,
Yeah.
because I think honestly there's something psychologically wrong with a pedophile, personally.
Yeah.
So I think it would be good to have a hypnotist in there, in the jail cells, of course supervised, but like, hey,
Yeah.
you know what? Let's not do that anymore.
Let's
I mean,
cut that
yeah,
out.
50 states. Let's not be political, but wave my hand. No one will ever drink and drive. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You don't want someone killing your family drinking and driving. So that's a Nobel Peace Prize. 2, police, y'all all get rubber bullets. Pretend this is the UK and you can't shoot brothers anymore.
Yeah.
That's a Nobel Peace Prize from me.
Yeah. I think the thing with the 5 people too is you kind of think about
It's
like
great.
Hold
how
on. Later. Yeah,
Is that your
like
mom?
15 minutes.
Who's that?
15 minutes.
Who's on this podcast?
15 minutes. Okay, that's fine. That's my grandmother.
Oh yeah, you gotta listen to grandma.
yeah.
Oh yeah, so continue, guys.
Yeah. So I think with the 5 people thing too, it's like you think about it because you're like, okay, what are the 5 strategic people I could
Yeah,
hypnotize up
like
on?
Hitler. Don't do that.
Yeah. Like who are the
Mussolini,
5 worst
don't do
people
that.
you can think of.
Alan?
Hypnotize them. Now you really like flowers, and your passion is being a florist, and you're just not going to hurt people. You're a pacifist.
We were talking about this,
you know,
Trevor Noah's book,
Trevor
right?
Noah's book.
He talks about, if you ask any American who was the worst person in history, they'll say Hitler.
Mhm.
If you ask that in Africa, they're like, it's not that guy. It was a Dutch colonizer, and like everyone in South Africa, all the blacks of South Africa just hate this person. He is the Hitler for South Africa.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would stop people from assassinating people. Maybe I would save Abraham Lincoln. I was like, don't go to that theater.
But then you always wonder,
If you get killed, they're gonna put you on a penny.
You-
They're gonna put you on the lowest common denominator.
you get worried like
He's
that
on a $5 bill. He's on a $5 bill too.
He is on the
That's true, it's
5.
on 5.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But all the other
And
presidents
Andrew
turn their
Jackson
backs.
got a 20.
Yeah. He is on the 5.
Yeah.
And Benjamin Franklin wasn't even a president.
What?
Yeah. Honestly, dude, put my face on a fucking bill. Okay.
Do you know the money in Canada has a braille on it? You go to Canada, you go to Toronto, you touch a Canadian bill, and there's braille on the side of it. It's waterproof. You can't tear it.
Yeah, that waterproof money gets me when you see that.
It makes sense if
Yeah.
you're.
It
It
does.
actually
It
does.
makes sense.
because
It does.
I had
It
to
lasts
tape
much
up.
longer and circulate.
I had to tape up a few dollars in my day. So
Yes,
Yeah.
Jamaica money has people that look like us on the money. It's not bad. You got a $500 bill that's a woman, I do believe, on the face of it.
a $500 bill could probably buy you a penny, a U.S. penny.
Yeah. When I go to Jamaica, the exchange rate is good for Americans.
Yeah, a lot of places. My final question:
Yeah.
you could hypnotize yourself to improve one thing about yourself. What would it be?
8-inch dick.
You say?
8-inch dick, without a doubt.
But you would have to hypnotize yourself to believe that when you
Because I know the truth.
Wouldn't your conscious mind be fighting that always when
They're like, no, your hand's not that big.
you look down at the reality of it?
Yeah, it's like you're nowhere near the knee.
It's usually something internal, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a runner, like a professional runner, and I tattooed on my arm, I will win the Chicago Marathon. I tattooed that. So when I shook hands with people, I'm like, hold me accountable for like years. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And then I was like, fuck it. I don't want to work that hard. It's snowing outside. I don't feel like running in the dark in Devil's Lake, North Dakota. I'm not going to train today. I'll train tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah.
You can't do that if you're going to be a world champ. So I'll hypnotize myself to chase happiness and easy work.
Amen. I wonder though, let's say hypothetically someone who doesn't run often, who's out of shape, if you hypnotize me to believe that I'm a better runner than Usain Bolt without my body physically being capable of doing those, would I win the marathon?
If I had you bench press, for example, and say, all right, this is what you've done in the past. And then you lift, you're like, oh, good. And I was like, actually, the weight was incorrect. That was a 45, not a 35. You just maxed out by 20 pounds. placebo effects are real. If I tell you this pill is going to make you better and I'm wearing a white coat, you think I'm a doctor, it's going to make you better.
Yeah, I actually hear that the humans are like far stronger than we give ourselves credit for. It's just that there's a mental blockade of what
We
we
have a guardian. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually because we're trying to not hurt ourselves by overexertion, but we can move a lot. Like we physically can move a lot more than we usually try to.
why don't
How
they
would you,
go ahead.
how would you hypnotize yourself?
Me?
I stole that question. Yeah.
Um,
How would you get better?
If you could improve one thing about yourself, what would you hypnotize?
Smaller dick, this guy. He's
I
murdered.
think-
He's murdered like 8 women
I
today.
Oh, one stroke.
They all choked to death.
God. 8 inches would be fun.
So I would think I have 8 inches.
This guy.
No, I think so. You were talking about like focus and things like that. I think I get distracted very easily, like classic ADHD brain. And I think like that's one thing that as fun as it can be, there are times where you go, God damn, like I wish I could just do this like a standard normal person would. And so I think of things like that. And then I think sometimes just like, yeah.
So do you have ADHD?
Yeah.
I spoke to someone earlier, like right before the podcast, and they were like, unfortunately, I have ADHD. I'm like, well, don't think of it that way because there's a lot of advantages to that too. I'm sure one of the reasons you're a jack of all trades is because you lack focus on one thing.
Yes, exactly.
You have your hand in a lot of different pots, so it's advantages that way as well.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to like, I listened to quite a few podcasts on ADHD too, and I was really thinking about the way that it sort of lets you be so dynamically okay with change. Like, so we travel a lot for work. That's one of the biggest things when you're a hypnotist, when you're a magician, when you're an entertainer. People don't realize how much of it is waiting. You're waiting for rental cars, you're waiting in the airport, you're waiting to check into hotels. It's a lot of waiting and it's a lot of change on the spot. But I've realized that for me, that's something that I'm very easy to adapt with. But I see people in the same situation when a flight gets delayed or something like that, and it wrecks their year.
I don't know how people are like that. I don't have a clue. Like, your flight is canceled. Book a car and drive.
Yeah.
Sleep in. These are your options. You're not gonna fly the airplane.
Yeah.
You yelling at the flight attendant does not help you.
Yeah.
But we see it because we're in that. Like, I had to learn how to drive manual because I ran out of money. I sold my car, and my wife's like, stop renting cars, teach yourself to drive stick. And I was like, it's stupid. And now I drive stick, and I'm like, this is the greatest thing. I feel I'm one with this machine.
Like, this
I'm a
makes
transformer.
Yeah, I have control of this vehicle.
So adversity is pretty okay.
Yeah.
So why not hypnotize yourself into the perfect human, right? Why not?
Because you'll change. Your partner changes. You change. Like, when 30 or 37-year-old me to my wife, I'm the perfect partner. She's going to change and not want the same things in 5 years.
Yeah. I think it's a thing where it's like you can think about what you would do if you could make yourself perfect, but then at the end of the day, like you wouldn't be you, like we are who we are because of our flaws, and like even things we look at our flaws aren't always flaws because like even like when we talk about like the ADHD stuff, like it's only flaws because we live in such like a time sensitive world. We live in a place that's designed for people that don't have. So it's like it only has its drawbacks in certain situations, but like again, it's all just who we are. So it's like, yeah. Have you heard of the pleasure machine experiment? Somebody would say to you, if I could hook you up to a computer right now, it would go right into your brain, and every single day of your life would be perfect from here on out. Like every single time you wake up, you're having the best day of your life. Would you take that? Like, would you accept that?
It sounds like a Black Mirror episode, and no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, right? Because then it just becomes too much. Like you need days that are just base level to feel like you reset. You don't want to always be having these everything moments.
And so like I need to have bad days so I can enjoy that bowl of ice cream.
There it is.
Yeah.
I don't understand heaven.
There's beauty in the struggle.
You expect me to live for all eternity doing whatever I want, but at the same time, there are people burning in hell? Like, I don't understand that concept. You're like, yeah, it's a party. We got whatever you want. They're burning in hell. This party is never going to end, and they're always going to burn.
Yeah. What's Reggie burning for? Oh, you don't want to know.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
He ate shrimp on a Sunday.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Ate shrimp on a Sunday is crazy. Okay, so those are all my questions, but now I'm curious because Noah did so well with the card virtually. I'm wondering if he can read my mind virtually now,
If I could read your mind virtually.
or
And
attempt to,
what's that?
or attempt to, or you ain't
Ah,
go for it. I can read your body language. No, you can tell me no.
let me see. Let me think. Because like again,
It's hard.
It's trying to think of what works under a virtual medium versus
Yeah.
like what I like. If you were here in person, I'd be like, yeah, right away, boom,
Yeah.
like we can do it. Like but here it's just like they're so limited. I can't see your full body language. I can only get so much from it. There's only so much that we can try to interact with, and there's also strangely enough only so many ways that I can make something that feels fair to you.
That's true.
Interesting.
Give me a second. Let me think about this. Let me work out in my brain right now.
As he's thinking, going back to the politics, I went to a Trump rally in Battle Creek, Michigan, because I wanted to see what a Trump rally is like in an all-white town. So I went with my friend, and Trump is speaking that day. And it was the day he got impeached the first time for withholding military aid to the Ukraine. We're at war with Russia right now because we allies and whatever. Anyway, I'm drinking at the bar and I leave because I get bored and I just start walking around being arrogant. I'm like, if anyone here has a MAGA hat that says Made in America inside of it, I'll give you $100. I was like, every single one of your MAGA hats was made in Vietnam. And they're like, what's the point? Literally, guy says to me, Vietnam, that was like 40 years ago. And I said, oh, these people are hypnotized. I need to leave. I can't be arguing with these people. I think he's going to read your mind.
I don't know if this is going to work.
It's going to work.
I think you need to start giving yourself more credit, Noah.
He's downplaying it. That's all.
Hypnotize yourself to be less humble.
Give me this. Give me a chance on this. Let me see if this works. Give me 5 seconds. Let me just see. Do I have a pen or some paper around here? Maybe I can write something. Maybe this will work.
Are there 2 beds in that room?
No, we got separate rooms. There's one upstairs. Yeah. Yeah. We had that show at that college. Crazy too, because Chris flew in this morning, did not sleep at all. I was asleep when I woke up. I live in Minnesota, so I just drove over here. I was like, I got you, man. All right, let's try this. Let me try this. I need like a pen and some paper though. Dang it. Oh, I got you. I got this. Okay, I have no clue if this is gonna work, but on my phone, I made a list earlier. It has like 100 different people on it, but hold on. Think of a number between 1 and 100, but don't say it. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
You got one in mind?
Yes.
Okay, you can change your mind right now if you want, but I'm gonna give you 3 seconds. Once I get to 0, you can't change your mind anymore. That has to be the number you stick with. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, 0. You can't change your mind anymore. Okay, look at me. I don't know why this is what I'm thinking. I'm gonna take this piece of paper. I don't want it to go off screen because you're gonna think that I change it. So I'm gonna put it right here. Okay. What's your number?
You're asking me what's the number?
Yeah, what's the number?
96.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Look. You see our notes up?
Mm-hmm.
Look, do you see 100 celebrities?
Yeah.
And look, if we go to the bottom, all different names.
Uh-huh.
Do you see someone at that number you said?
Tom Hanks.
Look,
Ain't no
Tom
way.
Hanks. And I told you could change your mind. You stuck with one number.
Bro, I'm not. I don't understand. What do you said? You said I don't know why this is sticking out to me. I don't know why. What?
Right
Fake.
there, yeah, 96.
How? How?
Crazy, right?
Bro.
Yeah. Those are the virtual things. That's how we do it. I'm glad that worked.
Wow. I almost switched to 69 because 96 backwards. But I stuck with 96 because earlier with Chris, I messed up with choosing my second option. So I'm like, I'm sticking my first option. I'm not going back on it. And
Oh, that's great.
yeah.
Do you go to Jamaica much?
Do I visit Jamaica much?
Yeah.
I haven't gone since 2014. Yeah, 2014.
Okay. Well, my wife coaches soccer in Jamaica each year around Christmas time. We're part of a nonprofit and we fly with balls and cleats because if you've seen the kids play soccer in Jamaica, they show up barefoot, socks. Kids are like,
yeah, I'm well aware. I'm
Yeah.
well aware.
and all these Americans are like, we don't have anything. It's like, give away your old soccer cleats. Give them to the kids. So anyway, my wife coaches soccer there and it's fun. Keep the kids, we feed them for a week and they get to play soccer. So you can volunteer coach if you want, take some photos.
Yeah, I definitely I'll see. I want to visit. I do want to visit Jamaica again. Maybe not the humble beginnings that my family had, but I definitely would want to visit Jamaica again. I'll see how the finances are looking there. Maybe you could hypnotize me into
Southwest, baby. I listened to your podcast on manifesting. That's real. You can't just wish it and then you do it. You're gonna do it.
I'm not manifesting Southwest though. I refuse. I refuse.
West? Is that what you said?
Southwest, Frontier, and Spirit are like the trinity of lower middle.
Actually, I haven't done Frontier.
I haven't done
You're
Frontier
right. That
either.
would be the Trinity.
Yeah.
Alaska Airlines has been good to me. Southwest has been good, and Delta's been good to me.
Yeah. Wow, this has been quite the invigorating experience. I got some self-evaluating to do because I thought I could outsmart you guys, but
I thought I could outsmart you guys, and that's the video.
I don't.
That's all I want. I thought I could outsmart you guys.
I'm truly at a loss for words. This guy pulled the 7 of hearts out of his fly.
Yes, I did.
Yo, oh my goodness. Because I don't really, so if I would have said 6 of spades, would you have pulled that out of your fly as well?
And that's the end of the podcast.
Now that one's still in the deck.
Well, guys, definitely, clearly, they're legit. So I would go follow them. I would go reach out to them and all that good stuff. Are you guys ever gonna be in New York, like a real city?
Yeah.
One of his best buddies is in New York. We got to connect you to RJ.
We should connect you with RJ.
He's a black magician in New York.
He works doing marketing as well, so he does PR for Tabasco. But like, you don't realize how crazy the PR world is until you know somebody that's in it. Yeah.
Wow. So would you look at that?
He got a full write-up in the Wall Street Journal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, he's young too. He's 27 and he's incredible. He's in the right spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All your
He'll blow your mind too.
Say that again?
We'll connect you and he'll blow your mind as well.
Yeah, maybe not tomorrow. I probably need a week for my to cool down.
Yeah.
Definitely. Your heart's desires remain in the comment, the description. Everything you want is there. Maybe not these tricks that they're doing, but everything else will be there. God bless you all.